The jungle was hot. The air was thick. 6 people woke up. They were in a clearing. They didn't know where they were. They didn't know how they got there. All they had were questions and fear.
A woman in a brown coat sat up first. Her name was Lena. She had a notebook and a pen. She looked around with sharp eyes.
Next, a tall man with a kind face stood up. His name was Ben. He rubbed his head and frowned.
A young woman with bright clothes stood up. She was Maya, and her eyes were wide with worry. An older man with a long beard stood slowly. He was called Silas, and he looked around with suspicion. Then a boy and a girl, no older than 12, scrambled to their feet. They were twins, Sam and Sophie, and they clung to each other in fear. The clearing was surrounded by jungle. Vines covered everything. The air was filled with the sounds of birds and insects. But something else was there too. A presence, a feeling, something old and watchful.
Lena touched a crumbling stone covered in moss. It was cold. Colder than it should be. She felt a shiver down her spine.
Ben looked up at the tall trees. They seemed to bend inwards, towards the clearing, like fingers reaching out.
Maya took a step back. The jungle felt close. Too close. She felt like she was being watched.
Silas pointed to the other side of the clearing. There, half hidden by vines, was a path. It was old and overgrown, but it was a way out. Maybe.
We have to get out of here, Lena said. Her voice was tight. She clutched her notebook. It was the only thing familiar in this strange place. Something isn't right.
She's right, Ben agreed. He scanned the jungle, looking for danger. This place, it feels wrong. He looked at the others. Does anyone remember anything? Anything at all?
There was a moment of silence. Then Maya gasped.
The symbols, she whispered. On the stone. I've seen them before. In a book about ancient civilizations, lost cities. She looked around with newfound fear. This isn't just a jungle, it's a ruin. We're in a forgotten city.
The path was treacherous. Vines snagged at their feet. The air grew thicker, harder to breathe. The jungle pressed in on all sides. But they had to keep moving. They had to find answers. As they walked, strange things started to happen. Silas, who had always been forgetful, found his mind sharp. He could remember things from years ago as if they had happened yesterday. Sam and Sophie, usually shy and quiet, started to see patterns in the jungle. They could predict where the path would twist and turn. They could sense danger before it arrived. And Lena discovered she could understand the whispers of the wind, whispers that spoke of ancient secrets, whispers that spoke of a forgotten power.